Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 1 of the Bachelor of Food Technology, and today we'll present to you the disease caused by a nutrition deficiency, which is anemia.
Anemia is a condition in which the number of red blood cells or the hemoglobin concentration within them is lower than normal. As we know, hemoglobin is needed to carry oxygen, and if you have not enough hemoglobin, there will be a decreased capacity of the blood to carry oxygen to the body's tissues.
Now, let's get to know what are the symptoms of anemia. Anemia signs and symptoms depend on the cause and severity of it. Some anemic patients might have no symptoms. If they do, these are the possible signs and symptoms. If you want to know more about anemia, please continue to watch until the end of this video.
The causes of anemia. What triggers anemia to happen? Anemia can be either congenital, which is present at birth, or acquired, which you develop during your growth. It happens when your body doesn't make enough blood cells, when you are bleeding, or when your body destroys the red blood cells. Different types of anemia has their own different causes. That is, firstly is iron deficiency anemia, which is the most common type of anemia. It is caused by the iron shortage in the body. Our bone marrow produces red blood cells, and it needs iron to make hemoglobin. Next is vitamin deficiency anemia. Besides iron, vitamin B12 and vitamin B9 or folate are important to produce enough healthy red blood cells. These vitamins work closely with each other to help iron function properly in the body. Sickle cell anemia is an inherited blood disorder. The defective form of hemoglobin will make the blood flow to become slow and blocked. Sickle blood cell has short lifespan and die prematurely, which result to constant shortage of red blood cells. Hemolytic anemia occurs when the red blood cells are destroyed faster than bone marrow can replace them. This anemia is either inherited or developed. Next is anemia of inflammation, or well known as anemia of chronic disease. This anemia affects people who have conditions that will cause inflammation such as HIV. Other than that is anemia that is related with bone marrow disease. This type of anemia is caused by any disease that affect blood production in the bone marrow, such as leukemia and myelofibrosis. And last but not least is aplastic anemia. This anemia happens when the body stops producing new blood cells. Aplastic anemia can be developed at any age during your life.
The effect of anemia to our body is heart problems such as arrhythmia, heart failure, heart attack and more, peripheral nerve damage, restless leg syndrome and weakened immune system that can lead to more frequent infection. Next, children can be affected by anemia as it can delay their development of motor skills and learning. For older adults, anemia can cause confusion or problems with their memory. It can also cause depression and death due to multi-organ failure. Last but not least, iron deficiency during pregnancy may increase the chance of complications like premature birth or low birth weight.
To treat anemia using medical ways, there are 4 treatments that can be used. Firstly, dietary changes or supplements. Secondly, medicines. Thirdly, procedures. And lastly, surgery. These treatments can be different depending on the severity of your condition. If your condition isn't severe, doctors might advise you to change your diet or take supplements. Iron, folic acid, vitamin B12 and vitamin C are all important nutrients to prevent anemia. Iron and folic acid function to make hemoglobin or make new cells, while the other vitamins are needed to aid the absorption of iron. There are many foods that are rich with all these nutrients, so doctors may ask you to include more of those in your diet. Some anemic patients will be prescribed a few types of medicine depending on the causes. Antibiotics to help fight bacterial infection that cause internal bleeding, hormones medicine to control heavy menstrual or prolonged bleeding, or a man-made erythropoietin, a hormone that can stimulate our body to make red blood cells. 2 types of procedures an anemic patient might undergo only if the condition is severe. The procedures are blood transfusion and stem cell transplant. Blood transfusion is a procedure where blood will be transferred into our vessels through IV line. Meanwhile, transplant is to replace the damaged stem cells with a new and healthy one. Last resort to treat anemia is surgery if the condition is life-threatening. The surgery might include removing the spleen from our body. Spleen is an organ that removes damaged red blood cells, and in some people, their spleen may destroy red blood cells at high rate, including the healthy ones, causing them to have low levels of blood.
Ways to overcome for non-medical. For those who have anemia that can last throughout a lifetime might be wondering, how do I manage my anemia? These are the ways to help you manage the anemia. The first one is in terms of diet. Foods high in iron are usually needed for iron deficiency anemia. You can easily find a big amount of iron in meat, poultry and seafood. For vegetarian, iron intake can be obtained from plant-based foods such as lentils, spinach, dried fruit, eggs, nuts and seeds, greens, tofu, vegetables and fruits. but they have to combine with foods that are rich in vitamin C as listed in this video to improve the absorption of iron intake. For those who have vitamin deficiency anemia, eating foods rich in vitamin B12 and folic acid as listed in this video helps you manage your anemia. The second one is in terms of lifestyles. Always follow a healthy diet, exercise regularly, drinking enough water to stay hydrated, avoiding exposure to chemicals that set off anemia, keeping track of your symptoms, and lastly, talk to your doctor about any changing symptoms. By doing this, your anemia will be well managed.